Well, how the tables turn. Day three in Ranchi didn't see this game move. It has seen this game turn on its head. India, who began the day still 134 adrift in the first innings with 3 wickets in hand, finish it 152 runs away from victory with all 10 wickets in hand. Welcome to ESPN Cricinfo Match Day. We are reliving a remarkable Sunday's play in Ranchi with Sanjay Manjrekar. Sanjay, you could have almost forgiven some Indian fans for not tuning in early in the morning, thinking, this is a test match that might be a little beyond India already. And look where we are at the end of play.
Yes, so the partnership Kuldeep Yadav, Dhruv Jurel, and then Indian batting actually has really sealed the deal. It was a very short session or time that India batted, but the way they've batted just shows you what is the likely result tomorrow morning or day four morning with the pitch likely to ease. So that is why everyone now feeling really upbeat about India's chances of winning. So yeah, tremendous day of test match cricket, and that's how the series has been right through. So this is actually as they say, a holistic view of the day's play is great advertisement for Test cricket.
Absolutely. You've mentioned two parts of the India batting, but that India find themselves in this position, in a position of ascendancy that no one could have seen coming 24 hours back, is down to the bowling effort in the middle. England took guard with a lead of 46, lesser than what they would have expected, but they were shut out for 145. Ravichandran Ashwin picking up a 5-wicket haul. He'd gone through 3 tests at home without a fifer. That doesn't happen too often. You'd feel it was inevitable, but also the fact that he finally got the new ball and look how he delivered.
Yes, and he may not have got a 5-wicket haul until this innings, but his 3-wicket performance at Vizag in the second innings was, I thought, one of his finest bowling spells. One of the reasons why India was able to win the match, the kind of contribution that he made on a pitch that was pretty good for batting. And again, here when India came on to bowl, I don't think there were demons in the pitch. That is why Ashwin was using that new ball to get more the drift and the other, skills that he has. He wasn't trying to rip in the off spinner. And that wicket of Ollie Pope, Ollie Pope, who got 190 in the first test, and the way he was deceived, that ball pitching on leg stump and, coming back in, and it wasn't a carom ball. So the artistry of Ashwin, once again, there to be seen. So three of the first 3 wickets that fell just got India in such a strong position. So yeah, magnificent from Ashwin. And then Kuldeep Yadav was a big bonus because Rohit Sharma didn't trust him too much in the first inning. So yeah, tremendous bowling performance.
Yeah, a landmark five for our Ashwin. It sees him go up to 35, which means he's now level with Anil Kumble as the most for an Indian and tied fourth overall, just two adrift of Shane Warne, who sits second with Muttiah Muralitharan, the runaway leader. Let's get into Kuldeep Yadav then. Underbowled in the first innings, as we felt. Here he has it 4 for 22. But also, Sanjay, not just the wickets. Kuldeep has bowled 27 overs in this game and given away only 44 runs. He becomes the first bowler to have gone at less than 2 per over in a test against this baseball side.
And not just the economy, you'll see the average as well because he hasn't bowled much and he's got wickets to show for it. At that stage, we were all trying to work out what the surface is. And we thought maybe because the match had become so tight, maybe Ashwin and Jadeja were bowling a bit too quickly and maybe Kuldeep Yadav slightly slower pace, not very slow, but slower pace got the ball to, do a lot more. That ball to get Ben Stokes was brilliant and Crawley as well. So yeah, we're trying to find out different, possibilities as to why the pitch was doing so much in one session and not so much in the other. But finally, it just comes down to what India have as the quality of spin. There's Jadeja that Rohit Sharma goes to. There's Ashwin with the new ball. And then Kuldeep Yadav is your third spinner. And he's already made an impact in the series. Just shows the riches that India have with their spin trio. Compare that with England. And you see the big gulf then. It was especially glaring on day three.
The dissection of Kuldeep's day, Sanjay, cannot be complete without a mention of what he did in the first part of the day. He made 28 runs, but he batted 131 balls in what was eventually an association of more than 33 overs with Dhruv Jurel. And Kuldeep, the batter now, in 5 innings in this series, Sanjay, has faced nearly 300 balls.
And another remarkable thing that happened in that morning session, which was a very important session for India, is that Bashir obviously was going to be the danger bowler. And if you look at it, Kuldeep Yadav took bulk of the strike. I think there were about 42 balls bowled in that spell by Bashir, and Dhruv Jurel just faced seven. What that did also was the good part of the pitch was where Kuldeep Yadav was getting the off spinners from Bashir. So Bashir didn't really have a crack at Jurel from the slightly notorious area of the pitch had he bowled to the right hander. So that was an important thing that happened. I don't know that whether it was tactics. But coming to Kuldeep Yadav, to begin with, I must say one of the most graceful reverse sweep I've seen in today's times when he got that first boundary. He made it look really stylish. Very few batters are able to do it. Kuldeep Yadav did it. And I just marvel at this generation of T20 cricketers. These are all people who also excel at the T20 level. To have that kind of a mindset and the reserves, the fight to just hang in there, keep defending. He's blessed with good technique. He's got a natural sort of flow to his bat, plays the ball very late. But finally, it's about the desire to wanting to sort of contribute. And it's not something that the team expects him to, go out there and get runs for us. It's actually a bonus when you have a bowler who has this kind of grit, like an Ashwin has. And, what a marvelous partnership that was that put India in a very secure position.
Yeah, Kuldeep, the way he held in was admirable, but India's savior in that first innings with the bat has to be Dhruv Jurel. Sanjay, you were high in praise after his first innings, which was in Rajkot, where he also made 46. This is now two back-to-back instances where he's had notable contributions while batting with the lower order. India's last three wickets in both these tests have lasted long, and that's had a huge bearing in what eventually has happened in the test.
In Rajkot, he came into bat when India was on top, but here India was really under pressure, catching up with England. So more admirable, this kind of an innings. Temperamentally, he looks really good. And that is the first thing that you look for when you're looking at any new player in Test cricket. So temperamentally, he looks good. Few things that, also tell you about a player is that, there were many occasions when he was playing and the ball would just hit him high on the bat and go, somewhere around. And he was looking for a single. There was one when the ball thudded into his gloves, but he was again looking for a single. So these are great instincts to have. And so he's got a lot of things going for him. Jimmy Anderson bowling that ball straight up because he has a tendency to get that pad across, but he managed to get his bat through. So very conscious of that as well. So pretty compact game, good against pace and spin. And finally, what you see with all these new generation batters is their gift of playing the big game. And that comes to great use when you are batting with tailenders. We saw KL Rahul in South Africa and now Dhruv Jurel. After the catch was dropped, he added a good, 25, 30 runs to the score.
That combination of a compact technique as well as the levers to go big holds him in good stead and makes him the firmest contender to keep this spot as India's keeper till the time Rishabh Pant returns?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any chance that the Indians will be looking anywhere else. He has to keep working on the wicket keeping aspect of his game because the batting seems to be coming naturally. He seems to be very gifted. I mean, a franchise has picked him purely as a batter, so clearly there's a lot of batting ability there. Plus, at the highest level, you saw the qualities that he had. So yes, very excited with the possibilities of people like Jaiswal and now Dhruv Jurel. And yeah, when the pressure was on, just love the way these two guys and Kuldeep and Jurel put their heads down. And the first hour was just about blocking and eventually getting that lead from 130, 140 to just a little, about 50, the lead was. So yeah, that was tremendous.
Yes, so well done to Dhruv Jurel and Kuldeep Yadav, and then Kuldeep Yadav and our Ashwin. What all of that through the majority of day three meant was that India, by the end of the day, were only facing a target of 192. We have to be careful though, Sanjay, when we say 192. India have started sharp, but just to put it in perspective, it has been more than a decade since a total even as low as this one was chased successfully in the fourth innings in India.
Yes, and the kind of pitch that we have in Ranchi. And it's been one of the most mysterious pitch that I've seen in my life. The prospects it held after that first session, I mean, which was because of Akashdeep, but later on, when Ben Stokes and all these other guys got out the way they did, you still had a Dhruv Jurel and a Kuldeep Yadav on day three morning playing calmly and coolly, seemed like the pitch wasn't doing much. And actually, in that morning session, it's not just about batting and, said batters. If you watch the ball as well, very few balls actually reared up from a length or actually went along the ground. So it depends on how the surface is, but just looking at evidence from the last 2 days, I don't know whether, because it's pretty cool here in Ranchi, whether the overnight coolness just brings the cracks together and just sort of settles the pitch a little before the ball gets old and the pitch sees a bit of sun. That's when it becomes a little more tricky. So everything going for India. I'll be surprised if India doesn't get to that score.
Yeah, it's a day start that started looking like it's England's test to win. It ends looking like it's India's test to lose. Can India get the job done on day 4? We look forward to how this Ranchi test reaches its finish. Thank you, Sanjay Manjrekar, for your time and your thoughts.